Right now, tracking Henri, the path, the potential problems, and the preparations.
Yeah, we are tracking. Just because there's new information in from the National Hurricane Center, we'll have that for you here in just a matter of minutes.
Barricades already going up along South County beaches, plus how people are preparing at home.
Where's the baby? The image of a desperate Afghan hoisting a child to a soldier to save his life captures a nation's heart. Now we know where and how the baby is doing. And Lobster Lady, the 101-year-old in New England who goes out each week to trap lobsters. You're going to love her on the Night Team.
NBC 10 News starts with the Storm Team 10 Weather Alert Day.
And here comes Henri. First up at 11 o'clock, everyone, we are tracking the major storm that's headed our way. Thanks for staying up with us, everyone. I'm Dan Janing. Right now, a hurricane watch and a storm surge warning are in effect all across southern New England's coast. And we are bringing you live Team 10 coverage on the preparations and the impacts. Let's begin with Storm Team 10's Chief Meteorologist Mark Searles, who just got new information in about the path. Mark?
And I think based on the way this is going to go, Dan, you and I and everybody at home are going to see that together at the very first time because the Hurricane Center is literally dropping those new graphics right now. So we'll get to that here. Let's start with the watches and the warnings that you mentioned. The red areas, it's a hurricane warning. This has not changed since earlier this afternoon. Hurricane warning for coastal Connecticut, the waters of Long Island Sound, and Long Island. A hurricane watch remains in effect for the rest of our area. Now, the difference between a warning and a watch, the hurricane warning is issued when hurricane conditions are likely within 36 hours. The watch is issued when it's possible for a 48-hour window. So it's possible we could have hurricane conditions in most of our area. It is likely that hurricane conditions will occur across coastal Connecticut and Long Island. And that is still where the Hurricane Center feels as though Henri will make landfall on Sunday morning. Now, the storm surge warning continues all the way out toward Cape Cod, and it includes all of southeastern Mass's coastline and Rhode Island's coast. And that's because even with the storm making landfall over Long Island, on the eastern side of the storm, there's still a considerable amount of surge, especially given that we're looking at astronomical high tides with the full moon this weekend. So there's still the chance for several feet of inundation around that high tide time, again, especially on Sunday morning. We'll focus more on that when I come back with it in a little bit. But there's Henri right now. So let's see. Latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. It's still a 70-mile-an-hour tropical storm. Has not strengthened to hurricane force. Let's look at that new track together. This might be a little messy because the new graphics will pop on here, but you get the idea. Saturday afternoon, a hurricane. Still offshore of North Carolina. Still Saturday night expected to be a strong Category 1 tropical storm. And expected track, again, now it looks to me a little bit farther west. A little bit farther west across central Long Island here with landfall speeding up. That's important here. So I'll go back and I'll digest a little bit more of this, but it looks like it's more of a westward track and it's a faster track. Dan, this is a trend that we saw come in earlier this afternoon, a faster impact and a more westward track. So that is, again, better news for southern New England if this storm does in fact track farther to the west. It's worse news for Long Island and the New York City metropolitan area on that. And then you can see, again, it gets all messy. I'll work on this and clean it up for you because this just came in, but you get the idea. This is a faster impact and it's coming in quicker and hopefully we'll be out of here faster with minimal impacts or fewer impacts here in southern New England. So more ahead, clean this up for you and more in your forecast in just a few minutes, Dan.
And now we want to turn to Storm Team 10's Anthony McCarry. And Anthony, even if this storm keeps moving west, we could still have risks for an impact.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. So there's still a lot to iron down as we go throughout the next 24 hours regarding exactly where the system will end up. But the rotation of the storm gives us some clues. So cyclones here in the northern hemisphere, they spin counterclockwise. So we know that the wind is actually amplified by the system itself moving. So Henri, for example, let's say it's moving about 5 miles per hour to the north. On the right side, you add on what the current winds are, about 70 miles per hour, and then you tack on its movement speed, you get 75. So even if the storm is slightly off to the west, making landfall somewhere Long Island, Connecticut, for example, the winds on the right side could still be strong. And that's why we got to keep a very close eye, for example, the westerly area. Meanwhile, on the left side, there is going to be less in the way of some strong winds. Still definitely wind, but you subtract that 5 miles per hour there, and there would be more rain. So right now, what we're looking for, the potential for that wind, also pushing some storm surge to our location. That's why there is that storm surge warning, but perhaps somewhat lower rainfall totals than what we had seen previously. Dan?